Alright guys, I'm back again bringing you the first pickups video that I've made in so long, and the first video I made in general in so long. And that's because that, of course, life has just been getting in the way of that, and, I really haven't had a whole lot of time to really sit down and make videos. But now that I've got this, I really have a reason to make a video. I just picked this up from eBay a couple of days ago, and this is the Texas Instruments home computer. And I've always wanted to get into vintage computers, but I could never figure out exactly what type I should go for. I was looking at the Commodore VIC-20 for the longest time, and I was thinking about the Commodore 64, the Apple IIs, the Sinclair, the Atari 400, the Atari 800. Just so many different vintage computers out there that I was really considering, and I could never figure out what I should go for. And I finally decided on this right here. And the reason for that is because this is actually the same computer that my dad had back when he was my age, so I figured it'd be kind of cool to buy back a piece of his childhood and have something that the both of us could really tinker around with. So this is just so cool, and I'm already a huge fan of this system, and I really hope to get some more pieces of software application for it, because as of right now I've only got one and I would definitely like to get more. So of course it's in its original box, but it's definitely seen some better days, as you can see. But anyway, let's take a look and see what came with what I bought on eBay. This came with a software application. Like I said, I only got one, and this is Household Budget Management. This is a cartridge-based computer system. It doesn't use floppies, or it does use cassette tapes, but for a completely different purpose. But it's primarily, sorry, I can't talk today. Its primary media base is cartridge, so it's definitely not like the Commodore 64, where most of it is based off of floppy disks. It's all cartridge based for the most part. Let's see. Get that out of the way. Lots of bubble wrap in here to protect everything. That's a good thing, of course. Here's the user's reference guide for the TI-99/4A, and it comes in this protective plastic book thing, which is pretty nice to keep it in good shape. And this is the big honkin' instruction manual for this thing, and it is huge. This really talks about the operating system. It uses TI Basic, which for a lot of my viewers have probably never even heard of Basic, but if you have, then, that's awesome. But if you haven't, then definitely look into seeing some tutorial videos on the internet, because it's really, really cool to learn. I have another book right here about Beginner's Basic. This pretty much talks about the TI Basic that's pre-installed in it. It's pretty much the same as this, where it talks about the operating system, but this really just goes through, the beginning steps of it, which is really, really good for me, because this is only the second or third time in my life where I've ever used Basic. So definitely a really cool resource to have. And in this plastic bag are some manuals and some pamphlets for stuff. If I can get that open. Sorry about the camera movement there. Here is the TI Basic reference card. This just, whoa, drop that. God, I'm dropping things all over the place right now. This is the command card, reference card, whatever you want to call it. Basically just gives a giant list of just basic key commands for, clearing the page, or moving on to the home screen, or changing the color of the home screen, just simple stuff like that. And this is so hard to do with one hand. Come on. Sorry about putting the camera down, guys. I really should prepare for these things a little bit better. But we have some random instruction manuals for some games, like addition and subtraction 1 and 2. Early learning fun. Here's a warranty card about the TI-99. Not that anyone really cares. And the advertisement for the dual cassette player cable, which I'll get to in a minute. Okay, so that's all the paperwork. Comes with a pair of the TI-99 joysticks, which these are some really bad controllers, I have to say, because this button and this joystick just has a really weird mushy feel to it, and it's just so uncomfortable to play. But these two joysticks share a single plug, because there's only one joystick port on the computer itself. But I don't see any reason why you would want anyone to play any games with you, because these controllers just suck. In this bag here, I'm not going to bother to open them, but there is an RF modulator in there and an RF cable. And, oh, the one thing that's in here that's pretty important, I gotta move the camera a lot again, guys, I'm sorry. This thing right here is the special cable that you need in order to hook up the TI-99 to a cassette player. You just plug this end into the back of your TI-99, and you can hook up to 2 cassette tape players. And the reason you would want to use this is because some software came on cassette tapes, but not a whole lot of them. But you would also use the cassette tape player to save your data for your household budget management or so many other games that would take advantage of it. So that's what the tape recorder's for. But unfortunately, I don't have one right now. But I do plan on getting one soon so I could use that. Here's the power supply. Not that anyone cares. Here is the AV cable. This will plug into the back of the TI-99. And this will go into your monitor or TV. And the best for last, the TI-99 4A computer itself. And mine is the silver and black version, which is really, really sweet looking. When I first got it, it was really, really dirty, but I took the time to clean out the outside plastic, and it looks really, really nice now. So I'm going to show you guys this thing in closer detail. I'm going to stop the camera and refocus it so I can show you this computer in greater detail. Alright guys, so now I moved up my camera closer and just refocused so you guys can get a better look at what this computer is all about. And here's the hardware itself. Here of course is the very basic keyboard here. And it's really, really cool too, because of course you have the standard letter keys here, but you've also got different symbols within the keys. So in order to use the commands within the keys, you'd have to hold down the function right here and use that. There's only one function button, which is kind of strange, because like the Commodore 64 and the VIC-20 had, I think, like 4 or 5 function buttons, I'm not sure. But this machine's only got one, which is interesting. Another notable button worth mentioning is the alpha lock, which you'll want to hold that in, which basically acts as your caps lock, and that just clicks into place there. And here of course is the cartridge slot to put in your software. Like I said, this is a cartridge-based computer system for the most part. On the side here we have an expansion module here, or an expansion port I should say. You flip up that little thing here, and this is what you would use to connect things like a modem or the voice synthesizer or any other accessories that would have come out for it. Now let me turn it around here. It's a pretty heavy system too, which is really, really nice. Here is the port that you would use to connect your TI-99 to a cassette player. You would use that special cable which I just showed you before. Here's where you plug in the power, and here is your AV out, either using an RF box or the composite cables like what I have. So that's the computer itself. Overall, it's a really nice, sleek design. Originally, though, this is, supposed to be all silver. Like, this was going to be silver, and this was going to be silver, like, all along the outsides, too. For those of you who are familiar with the TI-99 are probably wondering why mine is more black than it is silver. And the reason for that is because originally there was, like, a faceplate that went on here above the keyboard and everything. And I guess, for some reason, mine doesn't exist. I guess the seller just ripped it off or something. I have no idea, but for some reason the faceplate isn't there. But it still works really good, still plays really good, still looks really cool, so you know what, I really can't complain at all. Oh yeah, and one more thing also worth mentioning too is on this side though, is where you plug in the joystick port. And like I said, it uses the really bad TI-99 joysticks, which are shared among one plug. So 2 controllers use one plug, which means that you cannot use Atari 2600 joysticks or Sega Genesis controllers with this. It won't work because of that. So that definitely sucks, but you can get an adapter in order to use Atari or Sega joysticks. but I have not looked into that yet, but I probably will in the near future because I really want to get more hardcore into this system because I'm such a big fan of it already. So there's the computer itself. Now really quickly I'm going to move this thing downstairs and I'm going to hook this up to a TV and show you guys a little bit of how this works just to give you a quick demo. So hold on a second guys, I'm going to move the camera downstairs and I'm going to hook this up to my TV. Okay, so I got this thing hooked up to my TV now, and you can see my reflection in the TV screen there. Hi. So now we'll go ahead and insert the household budget management cartridge, and we'll turn on the TI-99/4A and see how it goes. So here's the intro screen here, and it's very colorful, and it says press any key to begin. Copyright 1981, Texas Instruments. So we'll go ahead and hit a key. So here's the sub-menu that it brings you to, where you can press 1 for the TI Basic that's pre-installed in this thing, and press 2 for the cartridge that's inserted. And in my case, it's Household Budget Management. So we'll go ahead and try out TI Basic first. And I'll just, do a quick call sound command just to give you guys a quick little demo of the TI Basic software. If you guys have never used Basic before, it's actually really neat to learn. So I'd recommend seeing some instruction videos and learning how to use it because it's really cool. So like I said, I'll do a quick call sound command just to show you guys a little bit of how this thing works. So call sound, let's see, we'll go 2000, let's go 505. And for those of you who have no idea what those numbers mean, like I said, look up a tutorial of how to use Basic and you'll understand how to use call sound commands and print commands and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and press enter. And you can program your own sound effects too. Let me try one more. Let's go 2000. Let's do 100, 5, and now listen to this one. Oop. Well, I guess that was a bad value because I guess that I made that number too low, but you guys get the idea here. So we'll go ahead and get out of here, we'll clear it. And we'll get back to the main menu here by just typing buy, and then it'll take me back to the intro screen here. So now let's take a quick look at Household Budget Management, which is nothing really too exciting, but I just figured I would just demo this machine real quick, because this is the only other software application I have for it. So here's the main menu itself. You can press 1 through 4 to select different options, either to load your data if you actually have the cassette player for it, set up for the first time, see a demonstration, start a new budget year, all that stuff. So let's go ahead and do start up for the first time. Some instructions, you can pause and read that if you actually want to, but I'm going to just skip it. Same thing for that. Okay. Let's get started. This is November. Today's the 21st. Year, 2011. Do you wish to use this data for 2011? Sure, why not? Household budget name, we'll go ahead and hit Classic Gamer 88. Expense categories. Oh, yeah, sure, why not? Why not? Starting at what month? 1, I guess. Monthly amount. That much. And it just keeps track of your budgets. I mean, nothing too useful for me, but, in the future, though, when I actually have a job and a place of my own to live, I mean, this would actually be really cool. Well, I mean, on second thought, I actually do have a job, but I mean a real job, because I guess cutting grass really doesn't count. But anyways, that's pretty much all I really have to say about this machine. I mean, it's really cool, and I definitely recommend you guys pick one of these vintage computers up, because they're really neat to take a look back at. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and as always guys, have a great day.